I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and safety to the hopefully elect, all the sincere Akim scattered throughout the four corners, pushing the Heavenly Father's word out of a pure heart and sincerity and the truth. And for the people that don't know Yahweh, that's the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai. That's the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And in this edition, I'm going to go into the book of Revelations, chapter 7, dealing with the great multitude, which is the 144,000. I'm going to show you that through the precepts. So this is Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4. It says, "And I heard the number of them that were sealed." And remember, John the Revelator heard the number. Okay? And it says, "And there were sealed 144,000, all from the tribes of the children of Israel." Now I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Verse 9, which, like I said, the great multitude is that same 144,000 that John the Revelator heard the number. Now this is verse 9. It says, after he heard the number, I beheld. Now, to beheld is to see. All right, to see and to hear is two different things. Basically, Yahweh Shai gave John the number of the elect. All right, so in verse 9, John is telling you from his perspective of what he saw, not what he heard. So this is Revelation 7 and 9. It says, "And after this I beheld," meaning I saw, "and lo, a great multitude," which is that 144,000. And I'm going to show you that through the precepts, which no man can number, because Yahweh Shai gave John the number. Remember, he heard the number of all nations, kindred, people, and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes and palms in their hands. Now I'm going to go to the book of Esdras in the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, and I want to start at verse 42, because John got the same vision that Esdras got. And remember, Esdras was on the scene before John, and Esdras didn't know the number. Why? Because Yahweh Shai didn't give Esdras the number. He gave the number to John the Revelator. All right, remember, John heard the number. All right, he saw a great multitude that no man can number. Okay, so this is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 42. Esdras saw, just like John saw. All right, Esdras didn't hear, but he saw, just like John saw, upon the Mount Zion a great people, that great multitude, whom I could not number. The same way John the Revelator couldn't number that great multitude. But he knew the number because he heard the number from Yahweh Shai. And they all praised the Lord with songs. And remember, the 144,000 is the only ones that can sing that song. All right? That can learn that song. So it says, "In the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest," and that's referring to Yahweh Shai. "And upon every one of their heads he set crowns," referring to the 144,000, that great multitude that no man could number, "and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these?" Referring to the 144,000. He answered and said to me, "These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and have put on the immortal," referring to those white robes in Revelation 7 and 9, referring to the great multitude, "and have put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the power, and now are they crowned referring to the 144,000. Now they crowned and receive palms. And receive palms. Then said unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them, referring to Yahushua, and giveth them palms in their hands? All right, so when you go back to the book of Revelations, chapter 7 and verse 9, and read it without any private interpretation, it says, after this I beheld, meaning to see the same way Ezra saw the vision, and lo, a great multitude, those same great people, all right, referring to the 144,000, which no man could number, all right, the same way Ezra, remember Ezra came on the scene, Ezra received the vision before John received the vision, but he didn't get the number, all right, of that multitude of those great people, all right, which the number is 144,000. So reading on, which no man could number, of all nations and kindred and people and tongues, referring to the Israelites, all right, that was scattered, the same ones who the Lord in Matthew 24 said he's going to recover from the four winds of the earth, all right, from amongst all nations. People, kindred, and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white, in that immortal clothing. That's what that's referring to, in white robes and palms in their hands. The same one that's being crowned by Yahushua has the palms in their hands, referring to what? Those kings and priests. Now let's get one last precept. I'm going to stay in the book of Revelations, chapter 5 and verse 9. Chapter 5 and verse 9. And it reads, and they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, referring to Yahushua, and has redeemed us unto the power by thy blood out of every kindred, and tongue and people and nation, referring to the 144,000. Reading on verse 10 to prove that further, and has made us into our power kings and priests. That's the ones that's being crowned by Yahushua. All right, the ones in 2nd Ezra with the palms in their hands. And we shall reign on earth. And that's for you Christians and Baptists that claim that the kingdom of heaven is in the spirit world. No, the elect, the kingdom of heaven is going to be right here on earth, and the elect is going to rule and reign on earth as kings and priests. So I hope you brothers was edified, and with that, I'm going to say shalom.